Hey guys, what is up and welcome to a new NVIDIA daily update video. So today, as per usual, let's go over NVIDIA stock. Let's go over what is happening with NVIDIA stock, what we can expect moving forward, and all of that good stuff as per usual. So with all that being said and done, ladies and gentlemen, if you enjoyed, please don't forget to hit that like button. This is not financial advice. I am not a financial advisor. And of course, if you enjoy my analysis, thoughts, etc., I do have a membership section on YouTube with where I share my thoughts, post updates every single day on Tesla and other stocks, as well as bonuses essentially sometimes for just $3 a month, or for $5 you get access to all of that, plus NVIDIA daily updates as well. That link is down below if you're interested, but let's just jump into it. NVIDIA not closing yet. We still have 20 minutes. I'm recording early today because Tesla's earnings is coming out and I want to make sure I'm ready for it, just in case I see any good post-market dips. And yeah, let's talk about it. So NVIDIA looks like it'll be closing. It kind of matters, honestly. That's the sad part I'm unhappy about, because it does kind of matter. But I'll give you, regardless, what it should be closing at for good news and bad news. So NVIDIA is dancing around, we'll say 139, low 139s right now, down about 3%, right? So what do I want to see for NVIDIA? First and foremost, ideally, you'd want to see by the time this, you see this video, if NVIDIA does close above 140, that's a good sign. I think that's actually a pretty good sign, and NVIDIA is still holding pretty strong. If it's closing even above 139 and a half, or like really roughly where it is right now, like I would say about 139 and a half, even that could be honestly not too bad. But if we close below those two levels, in my opinion, we start potentially, some slight bearishness is going to start seeping into NVIDIA a little bit here, unless it can finally recapture 140 once again and close a daily back above it. So that's kind of the main idea I'm looking at. Now, obviously, if we close pretty much back within this kind of, 139, 138-ish region, well, we go back to the next two major levels. 140-ish now becomes resistance, and, well, 135 roughly becomes support. Pretty simple stuff. I'm not going to overcomplicate it this video. I just want to make things really simple, so I'm ready for Tesla's earnings. And that's kind of the main thing you want to be eyeballing. Those are pretty much the next two levels. Watch for one of those two to break. But again, like I said yesterday, if we start losing 140 and closing back down below it, I do think that the bearishness will start to slowly seep in. With that being said, though, I'm surprised that my chart is not looking more bearish. For instance, the stochastic is actually still kind of chilling up here. It hasn't crossed bearish. I really thought if we see a day like this today, this would start crossing to the bearish side. It's actually not. It's still holding up pretty well. So true bearishness hasn't really set in yet. If I see this crossing back down to bearish, aka the green over the red, okay, then I think we're going to potentially really get a correction back down faster to like potentially the 120s. I think that becomes a very real possibility. It's not there just yet, though. It's not there just yet. Neither is the stochastic down here. They're actually still both bullishly crossed, shockingly enough, despite being in extremely overbought territory. So I'd want to see one of those things to happen for me to really truly think that, yeah, you know what, NVIDIA is finally going to begin its correction. But again, we're not there just yet. So take that for what it's worth, right? There's still more work to be done by the bears, in my opinion, to make the stock finally, and truly turn bearish. For instance, one thing you can also do is you can take a trend line from down here. This is where the real impulsive move, in my opinion, started. And you can even kind of, draw a little bit of a line like this. And you can see we're pretty much right at support. So this is why really, in my opinion, losing this kind of 138 to honestly as low as 135, it would be a pretty bad thing to see for NVIDIA bulls. And that's the thing that you probably don't want to see happen moving forward. So that's probably the main thing to look out for NVIDIA moving forward, right? In terms of options flow, NVIDIA is actually the most bearish, but not by a whole lot. So take that for what it's worth. But again, making this video pretty quick, making it just kind of straight to the point. So watch for those levels, watch for these trend lines, and watch for these levels to break or hold. And that should give you a move in that respective direction. But again, I do still think that there's a much higher chance for us to, at some point, sooner than later, most likely, I do think a correction to the downside is going to happen. Just a matter of when, not if, in my opinion. And again, it's also just a matter of, do we actually get a nice little bounce from here and maybe make our way back up to 145, or do we finally break this trend line? So just watch for that, in my opinion. It's really that simple. But all that being said, thank you so much for watching. See you for the next one. Peace.